Well, what's going on, everyone? Jetta Cameron, John Rich. It is 94 WIP. Great to be with you, off and rolling on this Tuesday morning with the Eagles all over the news and in a great way. Of course, Saquon to the cover of Madden. Congratulations to Saquon Barkley. Brian Dawkins golf tournament yesterday. A lot of the Eagles players from about 20 years ago and others, including Brandon Graham, who is now a former player, but always an Eagle. Brandon Graham there yesterday, and of course the shows were Joe and Hugh and Spike Lake and Jack yesterday. So we got a lot of audio to play for you of the interviews. Look, just a lot of good feelings in the air. Of course, the team preparing for another season. And they'll start it up in about 3 months, and we'll be all over it today at 215-592-9494. Phil's, of course, also back at it versus the Blue Jays. I'll always hate them. We got Phillies tickets to give away today, and we've got the NBA and NHL finals starting this week. So all of it, 215-592-9494. Richard Rich.
Hello, Joe.
Hello there, Johnny.
Exoplanet 55, Cancri E. It's a planet, Joe, that's about 40 light years from Earth.
Yeah, kind of far away.
40 light years from Earth, this planet is referred to as the Diamond Planet because it's believed to be comprised mostly of diamond due to its carbon-rich atmosphere and the extreme pressure and temperatures present on
Wow.
the planet.
Drill. Go get it.
A planet of diamonds.
Drill, baby, drill.
Can you imagine
drill, baby, drill.
what that planet's worth?
Yeah.
And it's a super planet, like a super Earth, like it's a mega Earth,
right,
much larger than Earth itself.
Yeah.
Made almost entirely of diamond and graphite.
I'm sending seltzer.
So we just got to figure out interstellar travel.
Yeah, 40 light years away.
No problem.
How do we get that done?
Yeah, well, I don't know.
Joe's the science guy. He'll figure it out.
Listen, There's a lot I know. That's one of those ones I don't know. Here's what I do know.
Department of Technology,
Yeah.
Of nanotechnology and future. Isn't that something that the president needs to incorporate?
Yeah, that's why he has advisors, and that's what I'll have. So good morning to you. Good morning to Saquon. Congratulations to Saquon Barkley.
Big time.
And congrats to the Eagles as a whole, because there's an afterglow of the Super Bowl, which is ongoing, and that's what an afterglow is. It's after. And the feeling is still in the air. Now, look, here's the deal, guys. The team has to get back at it, and to an extent already are, and obviously we'll have to ramp it up over the next 3 months and have to do it, come September for the next 5 months. That's their thing, and good for them, right, to have to be back in that grind. That's not us. We're not in the grind. We're in the fan mode where this afterglow can last right up to kickoff in September, and frankly beyond, to be honest. And today I want to kind of live in that afterglow and talk to you at 215-592-9494 about what has happened, but also looking ahead to what could and will happen, because we don't know quite what will happen. We know what we think will happen. We know the Eagles are the favorites to win the Super Bowl. But, I mean, how about the Saquon thing? I mean, my God. All-time player, all-time play, featured on Madden. And I guess the thing that's rattling through me yesterday and today, and the last couple months, but especially with the Saquon thing yesterday, 2 words I'll tell you I feel immense are pride and appreciation. What this team did. And of course, we know it culminated Super Bowl Sunday with an all-time beat. I mean, John, that was an all-time beatdown. Mm-hmm. But it was a journey. And you take a guy like Saquon, his journey was only here for a year. But prior to that, he had all the New York nonsense. Prior to that, he had the Penn State thing. And before we go any further, because, James, I can't call for it enough today. Saquon featured on the cover of Madden. Let's hear it.
Hurts in the gun. He backpedals. He's looking, still looking. He fires it out in the flat to Barkley, who beats one man, spins past another, leaps over a third, and comes down at the 30.
What was that? I've never seen that move, and I've been watching football all my life.
Well, he did that. Did that to show off to Shady McCoy.
He's never done this. No one's ever done this. He hurdles a guy backwards. How do you jump over a guy backwards?
He did. He did.
What am I watching?
That's so good. Well, look, we look forward to watching it again, obviously, in a couple months. But want to hear from you today, 215-592-9494. With all these good tidings with the Eagles, and it does include the whole Brian Dawkins thing. If you don't know, he had a great charity initiative over the last 2 days. Our station was tied in. The midday show and afternoon show broadcast from there yesterday. We're going to play audio for you of Doc today, Brandon Graham, Mike Quick, all these legendary Eagles, Jeremiah Trotter, all that were there. But put it in words when you dial us today at 215-592-9494. Try to capture the feeling of what has happened, but also the anticipation for what will happen, because the team has had great past success, Super Bowl afterglow, Saquon cover, the positivity, the dog stuff, but also, John, the coming season. Because, and I'll say it again, guys, they have to drill down and do the push-ups, I'll say, the process to get ready for a new season. We don't. James, I can live in this forever.
Same.
And let's be real, to a certain extent, we have a template for this because we're still in the afterglow of 2017 with Foles and Doug and all that. And this is another one like Lidge and Ryan Howard and 08 and Moses and Doc in 83. And you guys get the drill. John, talk to me. Whether it's the past, whether it's the future, what's top of mind for you? And again, everyone, 215-592-9494. John, talk to me.
Well, the Madden cover is so massive for Saquon, just from a player perspective. What a cool honor! Yeah. What a huge honor!
It is
just bigger than most, and bigger than we can even appreciate. I think. I thought it was cool when I heard yesterday he was doing the event at Geno's, and he talked about the hit that he took on that play.
Yeah.
After the leap was the hardest hit he took all year. Like I think that's fascinating.
Well, he was vulnerable. He was exposed.
He said he had to come out of the game, and it's stuff like that we don't even consider.
He still finished with power, though. That's the thing. To me, the most underrated aspect of that play, even when he landed and does get hit, but he still burst with some. He can't have the full power. He's not running at top speed. He just landed, but he still had some power coming out of the land to come forward toward those other two guys. It was unbelievable.
Saquon just defies logic.
And you really wanted him to get that record, John. I mean, and that's one of those things we'll never know.
Not permitted. Unbelievable. Right? But look, right now, it was great at the Doc event, Sunday night, just the night before. Seeing the guys, the old teammates, the players, everyone coming back, there's this pride going on that it's so completely certain. We all are so certain that this organization is getting it right.
Good.
And it's just I'm so eager to see Jalen be everywhere this season. Jalen is about to explode. Jalen, and just seeing him smiling on billboards everywhere it really is. I don't think we're ready for how big this team is going to be, and Saquon, is already. We're seeing that. We're seeing how big this stuff gets. Nick Sirianni is going to be everywhere, and he's going to be the new version of Nick Sirianni where he doesn't really want to say anything, so this is the reserved Nick Sirianni, and we're all going to sit there and evaluate every single word he says, and then we're going to sit back and say, that was pretty good. Yeah, wow. Hey,
he's not going to write a book
Nick's
like
doing pretty
he's
good.
not going to write a book the way Doug did, though, and have it come out in August, right?
Their whole
I just want to make sure. I'm just asking for a friend.
You don't know that.
No August books, Nick, please.
Here's what I love.
Seriously.
I feel about this team. I truly believe that this GM learns and adapts and improves and grows just like the head coach and the quarterback, and they're all committed to not letting last year's Super Bowl preventing them to letting it prevent them from winning this year's Super Bowl or another Super Bowl again really soon. Mm-hmm. I think what we're looking at right now, Joe, is the height of the Eagles' empire, or the next year will be the height of the Eagles' empire when we're winning another and about to win another. It really does feel like this is the peak.
There's no question
of where a team, where a group, where an organization can get in the NFL. We're sitting. We won the Super Bowl, guys. We just played in another one after winning one 7 years ago. We are that team everyone's looking at and saying, "Holy cow! I wish we could do it like the Philadelphia Eagles."
215-592-9494 for you to weigh in. John, what you just said, there's no question that's true. This is the
height of the Eagles' empire.
Ever. Like, seriously.
No question.
No, there's no question.
And
it
doesn't mean that we don't keep winning. Their whole focus, Jalen, I believe his whole focus is that cannot prevent us from continuing to do this. I think he's using the Super Bowl as a measuring stick, and falling short of winning it again will not be good enough for his outlook, for his mindset. You know, I always thought it was so crazy to skip, like you were just talking about, to start the show, to skip the process and talk Super Bowl prior to the season.
Right.
You know, I feel like it's doing like a disservice to all the work that goes in. Like, it takes away from how much goes into getting there. And I didn't want to dishonor all that work.
Right.
But now I do. I think that that's the bigger picture. You know, I think our team, our leaders, Jalen and Nick and company, they're looking at this and saying, winning another one is how we're going to measure greatness. Going back and not letting this detract, not letting it take away from our focus, like it always seems to happen to teams in the past, like it happened to our Eagles organization after the Super Bowl that we won, after 52.
Yeah.
We're not going to let that happen again, and the opposite must occur. Look, I believe that that's their mindset, must occur.
I hope it is, and I tend to think it is. I'll say this. To me, the ultimate, I guess I'll use the term winner. I mean, I think he's the best of my lifetime in sports is Michael Jordan. And the thing about a guy like Jordan, like if he had stopped at one, then he wouldn't be Michael Jordan. I mean, he just wouldn't be. I mean, the thing is he kept coming back, and he kept being on the big stage, and he kept delivering. But it wasn't just NBA Finals. It was the grind. It was the preparation for the season. It was the navigation of the season. It was the fact that guy played every game. I saw something the other day. I don't know if it's true. I saw something on social media, 96, 97, 98. I saw on social media he didn't miss a game. I don't know if that's true or not, but I saw that in those 82 games, 82, and like 20 playoff games, he didn't miss a game for 3 straight years. And by the way, he was like in his mid-30s, late 30s or something. So the thing about sports is that's true, James? You just looked it up?
It's true. I just looked it up. It's unbelievable. You see 82, 82, 82. It's just like, dude.
But that's the standard.
And then 2 months for the playoffs every time.
What unbelievable.
So,
man.
but that's a defining thing about Jordan, that you knew he was always coming back and just trying to seize greatness by the throat. That's what I want from my squad. Now, look, I'm not saying they got to be Jordan, okay? It's an all-timer. But you get the point here. John, to your point, you want to see them go do it again. But I know this. I also could live in the afterglow. Independent. All right, hit us up, 215-592-9494. What are you thinking? What are you feeling about the Eagles? Again, when you add it up, you got a Sirianni contract extension. It seems like Howie's going nowhere. You know, you got obviously the offense pretty much locked in. You got Goddard back. There's a lot of people who think you're going to get a better version of Hurts. You probably will. You got Saquon, primed and ready to go again. Defense has, got to have some rebuild issues, no doubt. Retool, rebuild, you know what I mean. They're changing some guys on the fly, but there's a lot here, and there is an afterglow. Saquon on the cover of Madden. Ladies and gentlemen, talk to us and try to capture what that feeling in your heart is. Bring it forth to us today. 215-592-9494. Remember, you can win Phillies tickets. We'll tell you how next. You win Phillies tickets today on the show. You can only win them by calling the program. 215-592-9494.